Good morning, everyone, and welcome to 5 Things You Should Know About Using an Employment Service. This is going to be presented by me, Sherall Hardy of Employment LLC. How to choose an employment service. This is something everyone always wants to know. They're asking me how to choose an employment service. Well, the first thing you should do is choose someone that has at least 1 full year of experience in the staffing and also human resource area. Now, if you have questions, please go ahead and type your questions in, and I will be answering them at the end of this presentation. You also want to choose a service or agency that has liability insurance, provide drug tests, and also provide background searches. You want to choose someone that can verify references, including Social Security numbers. That's a big one now. A service that provides Bureau of Worker Compensation. And finally, a service that provides a W-9 taxpayer certification form. The next thing we're going to talk about is the job order. A job order should be accurate. It should include 100% of the employee's duty. We're going to take example, data entry 1. The first thing on a job order, we want to make sure we know what the skills are. What are we looking for? In this position, we're looking for someone with excellent communication skills in person and on the telephone, a minimum of 2 years plus a proposal experience, and that can type 55 words per minute. 60% of this job will include data entry on the request for a proposal. 20% will be preparing the bid packages for the proposal. And another 20% will be attending mandatory meetings explaining what the buyer is looking for. So if we look at this breakdown, we have 60%, 20%, and 20%. When we prepare the job order, we want to make sure that everyone knows what is expected, the employee, the employer, and the temporary. Can I interview the applicant before I hire them as a temporary? Yes, you can. A lot of services, they don't like for you to interview the person because this is what we do. We recruit, we go out, we find, we interview, we do the drug testing, we do the background searches, and we would like for you to rely on us. But if you would like to interview, you can. Another reason, the main reason, is because a lot of times we lose our best applicants that way. Because if a person is out of work, they're looking for employment. And sometimes, hopefully it doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes the employer may take this person and hire them. Now, if they do that, we lose our person, and mysteriously the person just vanishes. So that's why we don't like to have our temporaries or our applicants go out and interview. But for the company, you may interview the applicant. And this would be good because it gives you a chance to get a feel for this person, a chance to expose them to your environment. If you decide that you do not want to hire this person at that time, it's normal in the staffing industry that you cannot hire an applicant that you've interviewed for 6 months. And this is standard. But yes, you may interview the applicant. What to expect from an employment service? Well, first of all, it's a partnership. Your company is known as the co-employer. So if you were to utilize Quick Employment Services, we would be the employer. Your company would be the co-employer. A basic written agreement, sometimes known as a contract, would be drawn up so that everyone is on the same page and everyone knows what is expected. A weekly or biweekly evaluation of the employee's skills, motivation, compatibility, how well they're adjusting to the company. This is something that should be done with the employment service. Timesheets for the employee so that we could keep time of when they came in, when they left. And with this being said, the co-employer, you're responsible for when the employee would take their breaks, when they would go on lunch. That would be up to you, and that would be on the timesheet as well. Then a weekly invoice. The client would receive a weekly invoice from the employment service. And this would keep everyone engaged. Am I responsible for taxes? Yes, you are. Remember that you're the co-employer, so you would be responsible for taxes as well. If an agency does not pay the unemployment taxes, you could be responsible. If an agency does not pay the Bureau of Worker Compensation taxes, you can also be responsible. If a temporary is injured on the co-employer site and the agency does not have liability insurance, you could become responsible. That is why it's so important when choosing an employment service that you ask to have a signed copy of the W-9 taxpayer certificate, their liability insurance, and their Bureau of Workers' Compensation certificate. So this way, if anything were to happen, you would be covered. But make sure you get a chance to see all of those certificates. Hope I didn't go too fast for you. Please keep those questions coming in. This is our question and answer time. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for sharing this time with Quick Employment. If you need additional information, you can visit our website at Quick EMP. You can also contact us at 216-361-3030. Okay, I see a question. Okay, with so many employment services in the Cleveland area, which would be the best one for me? Okay, that's a great question. If you open the phone book, you can see there are so many employment services. What I like to tell people is to specialize. With Quick Employment, we specialize in office services, secretarial, clerical work, and we also do janitorial labor. So if you're looking for phlebotomists, you would not come to Quick Employment to fill that medical need. You would go to a medical staffing services, and that would help you. But find a service that specializes in what you're looking for.
Okay, and I just want to make sure that you guys realize that the control panel on the right hand of your screen, if you expand that, that's where you can put your questions in, and we'll try and get them answered for you.
Okay, how do we determine the pay for a clerical person? That's another good question. How do we determine the pay for a clerical person? Let's say that you're a small company. All clerical people are not created equal because all companies are different. If you're looking for an office manager at, let's say, ABC company, the office manager is a small company, may answer the phone, may also type correspondence, and may also do some filing. So it just depends what the position entails. Then you may have another company where all that person is doing is just drafting letters because it's a busy company. So each company is different, and it depends on your budget. But basically, the starting out pay for a position like that will start anywhere from $12 up to $15. But it does depend on the size of your company, and we want to break it down. Remember that 100 percentage, what are they going to be doing 100% of the day? Okay, another question. What if I decide to hire the temporary? Actually, this is what our goal is. To get the employee hired, there is a 90-day what we call a working interview. So you actually have 90 days to evaluate this employee. You would evaluate their work skills. A lot of times I'll say, this is good because after 90 days, a person's true colors will normally come out. So you will be able to observe if they're going to be on time, or if they're going to be late, or if they're going to do their work and look for something extra to do once they're done with their work. So after 90 days, there is no buyout fee. You would just let me know that you would like to take this person on permanently, and we would make the arrangements to put them onto your payroll. Okay, what if the employee is hired on and there's they're not getting along with coworkers. Okay, this would be something that we would like to address during the 90-day interview, working interview. Now, you don't have to hire the person after 90 days. We have temporaries that have been temporaries for 2 years. Just because once you become a temporary, you would be responsible for the insurance, all the benefits that you offer your other employees. So hopefully during this 90-day working interview period, you would be able to notice some of the things. But if the person did not get along with other coworkers, after 90 days, the service is normally not responsible for that. But if you did want to dismiss the person, that would be the company, because the service after 90 days, they're out of the loop. But if you did not hire this person and you kept them on as a temporary, the service would be responsible. The co-employer will let the service know, and we would counsel or talk to the employee and let them know what needs to change. And then if there's no changes, we would just terminate the assignment. We would take care of that for the co-employer. Okay, I have another. What about guarantees? Okay, we do have a guarantee. If you're looking for a permanent employee, and we place that employee with you, and they do not work out within the first 40 hours, you will not be billed a service fee. It will be whatever the employee is making, because there is a fee on top of the employee. Because with employee services, we are responsible for all the payroll, taxes, so we have the employees pay, and then on top of that, we take care of all the payroll tax burdens. Okay, another question. Okay, yes, we have had many success stories. As a matter of fact, a lot of our clients started out as our temporaries. They'll go to a co-employer, they'll do the 90 days. After that, they'll get hired on, and they get promoted. They get promoted to a position where they can actually remember me, and they'll call me back and say, I need a person, ABC company, doing XYZ. Can you supply that person for me? And I say yes. So most people, they started out as temporaries, or if you talk to someone, they have worked as a temporary at some point in their life. And it's an excellent way to get experience. During this past summer that just passed, still nice weather, but we had about maybe 20 college students that came and worked at different companies, and the experience that they've gained, it will affect the rest of their life, because they went to companies and they learned things. So I always call it a working interview, education. They learned a lot of things. Okay, how do we recruit? Okay, our product is people. And a lot of times when we think of people, it's really different, because we're dealing with people's personalities, and it's their education, and a lot of things go into that. So normally it will take us about till a person is maybe 16 years old before we can place them. And with that, if a person is 16, maybe 14, 15, or 16, they would have to have a work permit. So once they get their work permit from their guidance counselor, and their parents would have to approve it and sign it, then we would be able to send that person out. But so you would have to have your work permit, you need to have a GED or equivalent high school diploma, and of course other jobs, the employer would put down what they're looking for. So we do the background checks on everyone, we do the drug testing, and then so you have to have a high school diploma, GED, you must be able to pass a 10-panel drug test, and you cannot have any felonies, any violent felonies. So those are the things that we really offer our employees, and we also offer our employers that we look for. Okay, do we have any more questions? Okay, if we don't have any more questions, I I want to thank you all for sharing this time with Quick Employment once again. And remember, employment services are here to help you. If you have a need for vacation or someone is out on a medical leave, that is one thing that an employment service can do for you. Thank you once again and have a great day. Goodbye.
Okay, I want to thank you guys for joining us for this BBB Flash webinar. I just wanted to make sure that you guys remember that you can find all of these webinars recorded and the PowerPoint presentations at BBB Toolbox on our BBB group site, which is available to all of you. I can email you that link so you can get on there and take a look at any of the presentations that you might have missed, as well as see the upcoming presentations. And if you have any questions for any of the presenters, they have said they're more than happy to answer those even at a later date. And also, if you have any ideas for any webinar topics that you would like to see, please give me a message at bridget@cleveland.bbb.org, and we'll see if we can find the right presenter out of our many well-qualified accredited businesses, and we can get that information out to you. So again, thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again soon.